Welcome, welcome. It is Wednesday again, and we are here live at our weekly show. On again. Thank you so much for joining me. Come on in, come on in. It is 5 o'clock here on the East Coast. Not sure what time it is where you are, but we're excited because the sun is still shining, and we are just excited about the 55 plus temperature we've had today. So if you are not near the sun, I'm just sending rays of sunshine to you and hope that the sun will be where you are very, very soon. We do have an exciting topic today. How long does it take to close on a home? And I'd like to just remind you to please give StreamYard permission to access your account so I can know who I'm talking to in the comments. It'll show up with your name. So please do give StreamYard permission. So I am excited to just continue to discuss more about our current real estate market. I'm actually going to share some statistics with you today about what's going on in the Baltimore real estate market. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and dive right in? So it is now March, and we tend to have information from some of our prior months. This is what was going on in January. I don't think I believe I've shown this to you guys before, but with respect to January, this gives you a sense that we've had a little over 700 homes that closed. The average sold price, and this is for Baltimore County, was around 325. There are around 800 homes on the market. So you see what we closed and what was on the market, how close they were. That tells you we have very little inventory. And then it actually shows you our average list price was around 483. Now, for the folks that are looking to buy in the city or currently live in the city, you're going to see we closed around 730 homes during the month of January. The average sold price was around $203,000. There are around 1,500 homes on the market, so just a little bit more in terms of the close ratio. And then the average list price in Baltimore City was around $262,000. If you want more information about specifically the sales, the average sales price, all that kind of information about your even fine small community, reach out to me wherever you're seeing this video right now, and I am happy to give you that type of a report. So as an example, we're in the Owensville area. If you live in McDonough Oaks and you want to know what's going on in that community, I can get very specific like that for you. So reach out to me if you want to know what's going on in your community, so you can get a sense for how fast the homes are selling, how slow they may be selling, what's the average sales price. You would probably be surprised because the prices are going up and up on homes because we are in a seller's market. And what does that mean? I want to make sure that all of my tribe understands. A seller's market is when there are more buyers than homes on the market. And what that has created is a super competition here in our metropolitan area where we're having multiple offers on homes that hit the market. So, to get in a position where you can be successful as you go out there and find that home, today we're going to talk about how long does it take to close on a new home. Hey, Joe, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you joining me today. Anybody else? I know I just recently invited one of my new buyer clients. I said, come on in. We get together on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock, and I hope that the content that I'm bringing you is of super duper value. So, how long does it take to close on a new home? Whether you are buying or selling, the time it takes to close escrow or to go from contract to close can be a major headache. So keep watching to find out the average time it will take for you to close on a home. And once again, I just want to welcome you back to the Own Again show. My name is Kersha Porter, and I serve the amazing community of Baltimore metropolitan area, primarily the city and the county of Baltimore. And so, let me tell you a little interesting story. I recently have a buyer client. She was in the midst of getting pre-approved, and she gave me a call and said, "Hey, my lease is up in July." And this conversation was in January. And she says, "Well, we can wait and look." And then I begin to explain to her what we're going to talk about today. And I backed into the process in terms of her lease was up in July. When would she settle on the new home? When may she go under contract? How long that may take, and how long it may take to actually search and find her a home. So when you work with an experienced professional like me, we know that we have to back into that date if you want to be able to leave your current rental situation in a specific amount of time. So now this is how it works. You've found your dream home and you're ready to move in ASAP, but not so fast. These things do take time, and here is why. Step one, you need to know exactly what you want in a house. So when we get together for our buyer consultation, we're going to talk about the number of bedrooms minimum that you must have in this new home. We're going to talk about the number of bathrooms at a minimum that you would like to have in this new home. We're going to talk about the style of the home. Do you like a rancher where everything is on one floor or one story? Do you like a split level or a split foyer or a bi-level home where there may be two stories? Are you interested in a colonial where all the bedrooms are upstairs in the living room, dining room, and kitchen, and maybe family room are all on the first floor? Must you have a basement? Must you have a finished basement? Kitchens, kitchens, kitchens. We talk about that a lot here on our show. Kitchens are super important to the majority of buyers. Do you have a desire to have a spacious kitchen? Must you have an island in your kitchen? Must you have a certain type of countertop in your kitchen? Okay, so let's talk a little bit more. The actual time that it does take to close escrow or to go to settlement on a house can really be anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks. This is because it now takes between 30 to 45 days to fund the loan. So when I initially started talking about the fact that we want to back into these dates, this is why. So you found that dream home right away, 30 to 45 days before my loan is even approved. And while you're waiting for that loan money, you're also waiting for the title company. The title company is the company that the moment you go under contract, we send that contract to the title company and they begin their job. The most important piece of work that they do is to find out whether the title is free and clear and can be transferred to you, which means there's no additional liens on the property other than a loan, right? And usually that seller loan will get paid off in order for you to purchase it. So that title company, they do a couple other things too. They will send a surveyor out so that that surveyor will be able to tell you where your property lines are. The title company also will pull any of the final bills like a water bill, an HOA bill. If you're in a condominium association, they're going to communicate with the condo association to make sure that all the documents are in order, the financial situation is clear, because that's another conversation with the lender. So they're going to do their job. There's an appraiser. Now, we are in a very robust real estate market right now. And because of that, appraisers are super duper busy. So from the moment that the contract is sent over to the lender, they then order the appraisal. The order goes to an organization, a company, right, that then sends that assignment out to that appraiser. And that appraiser will then schedule the appraisal. He's going to look on his schedule just like me and you and see when is there an opening. That's when he's going to get out to the property to perform the appraisal. Then he has to go back to his office and write up a report and send it back to the mortgage lender. How long will that take? We don't know. Sometimes it could take a few days, sometimes it can take a couple of weeks. So that is an unknown. But when you work with me, we work to get all of these things ordered so that anything that may delay the process is circumvented as quickly as it could be. Inspector. You got to have a property inspection or a home inspection. So the moment my clients get their contract accepted, boom, we give them an email. Please schedule your home inspection. If you don't have a home inspector, here are a few that our clients have had success with. Now you have to call that inspector. It's your schedule, their schedule, and sometimes if the property is occupied, it could also be the seller's schedule. That's 3 people. Throw the agent in, those are 4 people's schedule. So you want to get on top of that right away. And then we also do a termite inspection. And typically that will occur the same day we do the property inspection, but sometimes it needs to happen at another time. So those are the pieces that we are waiting on and working through while we also are waiting for the loan to be approved or to fund. Okay. So here are some ways that you could speed up the timeline. And that's why I wanted to talk about step number 1. Step number 2 is find a great real estate agent. Me. You also want to find a great loan officer. You could talk to some friends and family who have recently gone through the mortgage process and see if they would be able to recommend a great loan officer to you. That's going to be the person that talks with you prior to even going out and seeing a property. Okay, we have loan officers that we work with that do an amazing job for our clients. We're happy to refer them to you as well. So finding good people to help you from the start will make the entire process so much smoother, which will also help to make things happen as quickly as possible. So when you have a real estate team with an amazing realtor, a strong lender, home inspector, the home insurance, because you need homeowners insurance, the pest inspector, sometimes a surveyor, definitely a title company. All of those folks make up your team. So the main folks that are driving this, and I have a home inspector who loves to say, follow your leader. I'm the leader. Follow your leader. And your leader is going to tell you who else is on our team that's going to help you get to the finish line as quickly as possible. Number 3, you want to work with the loan officer to figure out exactly how much you can afford. Now, that process, when I work with buyers, my buyer clients, we do that in the beginning. So the first thing that happens in the process when you work with me is I actually schedule a house call. We have a conversation. Our house calls, that is HOUSE, homeowners understanding their strategy and expectations. Yes, a house call. And I'm going to drop that in the chat so that if you want to set up, it's about a 30-minute call. Just had one an hour before I hopped on live today with a new buyer who says, I have no idea where to start. If you have no idea where to start, book a house call with me. If you have a general idea of where to start, book a house call with me. If you've bought a home before, you've been out of the market for a while, and you're ready to buy again, book a house call with me, and let's put together your strategy and set some expectations. Okay? So when we talked about this loan officer that you want to work with, I actually have my clients get pre-approved before we get too far down the road. You want to know what's your purchasing power. Now, your purchasing power might be here, and this means a particular monthly mortgage payment, but you might want to be here. So I always tell my buyers, what are you comfortable? What are you comfortable with as your monthly mortgage payment? Well, that's where we need to search, okay? So although you may be approved for a higher amount, you want to search where your monthly mortgage payment is going to be comfortable for you. And that's why we get pre-approved in the beginning. So when we start talking about the style of the home and the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, what's going to drive that search is your budget. Okay, so working with a loan officer to figure out exactly how much you can afford is a big one. One of the most common reasons for delays is when buyers don't qualify for financing. They end up having to get additional documentation. They need to get documents or letters to support where the money came from. They didn't file their tax returns. They can't get their hands on their pay stubs. We take care of all of that up front because we want to make sure that when you find that dream home, you can make that offer, get it accepted, go under contract, and settle in about 30 to 45 days. So making an offer for a property without getting financial pre-qualification can be a major mistake. And I'm hoping that by discussing this today on our show, that you're going to make sure that you check that box off first. So it's surprising how many buyers don't acquire that written loan commitment or loan pre-approval from a bank or a mortgage company before submitting their offer or before running out to purchase a home. So it does happen, but if you work with me and our team, we're going to make sure that you know all about your purchasing power ahead of time. So, what happens if you don't have a good agent? By taking these 3 steps that we talked about today, you're already ahead of the game. And that's where I can help. By using a great real estate agent, I can make the process as painless as I possibly can. So book your house call today so that we can put together your homeowner understanding strategies and expectations. I take the time to explore your options, get you pre-qualified with one of our lender partners or anyone else that you may choose, and we fine tune your search. Okay, so today a lot of folks will say to me, well, hey, how do I go about searching for a home in the middle of a pandemic? Hi, Nafor. Thanks so much for joining. I appreciate the compliment about our team. So what's going to happen is we want to make sure that when we begin your search for your home, that everything that should be lined up is lined up. So, excuse me, you may also be thinking that you have no idea where to start. And I think I mentioned that earlier. I've had buyers call me about that. You want to get some guidance with when buying a home, and I'm going to drop the link in the chat how you can set up an appointment with me. But if you are thinking about making a move, I can help you through that process. Just send me a message through Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you may be seeing this show, or just text me at 443-744-0206. There'll be no pressure, no sales tactics, just help and guidance that you need. And I do hope that when you see how passionate we are about educating our buyers and our sellers, that you're going to be excited to work with us. So finally, if you are a resident of this Baltimore metropolitan area, I want you to know that I do have some upcoming homebuyer seminars. I'm actually going to be presenting this Saturday at a free Destination Financial event. It's actually a conference with multiple presenters. Look for that, by the way, in on my Facebook page. I'm going to be talking about buying a home, but some of the other presenters have great content about just becoming financially astute and financially strong, because one of my big commitments is to make sure that our community, people of color, Black folks, are financially aware of how they can build wealth. And real estate is one of the first ways to start building wealth. And we want this to be the mechanism in which you pass on that generational wealth. Okay, so feel free to post any questions, any comments, or any concerns in the chat box. I always go back and I check the videos after this live stream is over so that I can answer any questions in the comment section as well. If you have any questions, let me check real quick. So yeah, Joe, the house call, HOUSE. I'm going to make sure that I copy and put the link in. So if anybody is interested in having a conversation with me to understand what their strategy might be, everybody's not ready to get out there and buy a house. Some of us have to do some things before we're quite ready. There's some other timing, etc. And we're really happy to work with you. I've been in real estate for 17 years. This is year 18. I'm not going anywhere. So when you're ready, I am ready here to serve you. So definitely reach out to me. If you don't want to post your questions on Facebook, you can always direct message me through any mechanism that you're seeing this message right now, or give me a call. Would love to talk more and get an idea of what your questions and concerns might be. So, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next week in our next episode, okay, of Own Again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can join our Facebook group. If you'd like to own again, go to gershaporter.com. You're going to see a little landing page that I have, and there you can give us your information. And if you've been affected in the past by foreclosure, short sale, bankruptcy, or if you lost your home due to a divorce, I'm looking for you. I'm looking to help Black tenants who lost their homes in the past to own again. So reach out to me so I can tell you about the amazing coaching program.